My dear friends, welcome back to Stars Aligned. This one is the work matrix. We are going through all 12 signs of the zodiac, sign by sign, and breaking down exactly who each sign collaborates with naturally, who requires more deliberate effort, and who creates the most friction in a professional context, and why. Same 5 levels as the love and friendship matrices. High means the working dynamic between these two signs tends to flow with genuine ease. Their professional instincts, communication styles, and approaches to getting things done align in ways that create real momentum. Moderate high means strong collaborative potential with real productive friction that tends to make the work better when both people lean in. Moderate is honest middle ground, not a natural team, not a natural clash. The collaboration can absolutely work, but it needs more conscious effort and more mutual accommodation. Moderate low means the core working styles and professional priorities pull in meaningfully different directions. Not impossible, but genuinely difficult to sustain without ongoing navigation. And low means the fundamental professional wiring of these two signs works against each other. The gaps are wide and require exceptional self-awareness and deliberate structure to bridge. Before we dive in, 2 things worth knowing about how the work matrix differs from the love and friendship versions. First, there are no low pairings anywhere in this matrix, just as there were none in the friendship matrix. Work relationships carry accountability structures, deadlines, shared goals, professional stakes, that force a level of functional adaptation that personal relationships do not require in the same way. Almost any 2 signs can find a working relationship that functions if the structure around them is clear enough. Second, this matrix is more compressed toward the middle than the love matrix. Most signs have fewer high pairings at work than in love. That reflects something true about professional compatibility. Love can survive on chemistry alone for stretches of time. Work cannot. What creates a genuinely high work pairing is a specific alignment of pace, decision-making style, communication approach, and professional values, and that combination is rarer than romantic chemistry. The sign that demonstrates this most clearly is Capricorn, which has 4 high work pairings, more than any other sign in this entire matrix. We will talk about why when we get there. And the 2 signs with 0 high work pairings at all are Cancer and Pisces, both water signs whose greatest professional strengths are relational and intuitive rather than structural. That does not make them ineffective. It makes them most effective in specific roles, and we will look at that too. Let us start at the beginning. Aries. At work, Aries is the person who moves fastest, decides quickest, and has already started by the time other people are still planning. They are energizing collaborators when the work needs momentum and directness. What creates friction for Aries professionally is anything that slows the pace without reason: bureaucracy, consensus loops, overly cautious decision-making. They work best with people who can receive their directness without getting stuck on the delivery, and who can contribute something Aries genuinely cannot generate alone. Aries has 1 high work pairing, Sagittarius. These 2 fire signs create one of the most productive professional dynamics in the zodiac when pointed at the right problem. Both move fast, both think big, both are willing to act before the plan is perfect. The result is genuine momentum that other pairings struggle to generate. At moderate high, Aries works well with Gemini, Leo, Capricorn, and Aquarius. Gemini brings the communication and adaptability that sharpens Aries' ideas before they go out the door. Leo matches Aries' drive and adds the presentation layer that Aries sometimes skips. Capricorn is an interesting pairing for Aries professionally. The instincts run in opposite directions, but Capricorn's strategic patience provides structure that Aries' momentum genuinely needs. Aquarius brings originality and systems thinking that complements Aries' action orientation. In moderate, Aries works functionally with Aries itself, Taurus, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. Each can collaborate productively with Aries, but each also requires Aries to adapt in a specific way, slowing down for Taurus, tolerating detail for Virgo, accepting process for Libra, and navigating intensity with Scorpio. At moderate low, Cancer and Pisces both find Aries professionally challenging. Both water signs need a relational and emotionally considered working environment that Aries' directness and pace rarely provides. Taurus. At work, Taurus is the most reliably productive sign in the zodiac once they are settled into a role that suits them. They do not make noise about what they are doing. They simply do it, thoroughly and well, and they do not stop until it is finished. What creates friction for Taurus professionally is being rushed, having the process constantly changed under them, or working with someone whose word cannot be trusted. They need stability, and they need to know what is expected of them. In return, what they deliver is extraordinary. Taurus has two high work pairings, Virgo and Capricorn, both Earth sign combinations. Virgo matches Taurus's commitment to quality and detail with its own methodical precision. These two produce work that is genuinely thorough and genuinely reliable. Capricorn matches Taurus's long-term orientation and practical work ethic with an ambition and structural clarity that elevates what Taurus can accomplish. The Taurus-Capricorn professional pairing is perhaps the most quietly formidable in the entire matrix. At moderate high, Taurus collaborates well with Taurus itself, Cancer, and Scorpio. Two Taurus colleagues create an extremely steady, productive working environment. The risk is that both resist change so completely that the team fails to adapt when the work requires it. Cancer brings emotional intelligence and genuine care for the team that softens Taurus's more impersonal working style. Scorpio and Taurus share a fixed sign determination that can produce remarkable output when their goals are aligned. In moderate, Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, and Pisces all sit with Taurus. Each can work effectively with Taurus in the right context, but the pace or approach of each requires regular navigation. At moderate low, only Aquarius sits with Taurus at work. Aquarius's tendency to question established processes, chase unconventional ideas, and resist routine is a direct ongoing challenge to Taurus's need for consistency and proven method. The professional friction here is real and requires deliberate structural management. Gemini. At work, Gemini is the person who can talk to anyone, understand anything quickly, and translate complex ideas into language that lands. They are exceptional in roles that require communication, versatility, and the ability to move between different people and problems without losing the thread. What creates friction for Gemini professionally is repetitive work, rigid process, or a working environment that does not change enough to stay interesting. They need variety, and they need to feel like their intelligence is being used. Gemini has two high work pairings, Libra and Aquarius, both air sign combinations. Libra and Gemini create a professionally fluid partnership built on mutual communication intelligence and a shared ability to see multiple sides of any problem. These two produce work that is both sharp and well-considered. Aquarius gives Gemini the intellectual depth and systematic originality that elevates their ideas from clever to genuinely innovative. These two air signs can generate ideas together that neither would reach alone. At moderate high, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius all work well with Gemini. Aries gives Gemini the action orientation that turns ideas into momentum. Leo brings the confidence and presentation skill that gives Gemini's ideas their proper stage. Sagittarius matches Gemini's intellectual range and adds philosophical depth and genuine expansiveness. In moderate, Taurus, Gemini itself, Virgo, Scorpio, and Pisces all sit with Gemini professionally. Each can collaborate productively, but each requires Gemini to adapt in a specific direction, toward patience, toward depth, toward precision, or toward emotional attunement. At moderate low, Cancer and Capricorn both challenge Gemini at work. Cancer's need for relational warmth and emotional consideration in the working environment clashes with Gemini's more detached, fast-moving professional style. Capricorn's traditional, long horizon, methodical approach sits in real tension with Gemini's preference for flexibility and fast iteration. Cancer. Cancer at work is frequently misread. Because they lead with emotional intelligence and relational care, they are sometimes underestimated in professional environments that reward visible assertiveness. What Cancer actually brings to work is exceptional. They read team dynamics with precision. They hold institutional memory. They notice when something is going wrong before it shows up in the data. And they create the kind of working environment where people actually want to show up. Their challenge is in environments that reward speed, bluntness, or a complete absence of relational consideration. Cancer has no high work pairings in this matrix, the only sign alongside Pisces with that distinction. This is not a statement about Cancer's professional capability. It is a statement about the specific conditions Cancer needs to thrive. Cancer does its best work in roles that value relational depth, continuity, and careful stewardship, qualities that very few sign pairings produce at a high level because most pairings optimize for different things. At moderate high, Cancer works well with Taurus, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces. All five share enough relational depth or practical reliability to create a genuinely productive working dynamic with Cancer. Taurus gives Cancer the steady, consistent working pace it needs. Virgo brings practical attentiveness and precision that Cancer trusts. Scorpio shares Cancer's capacity for depth and creates a working partnership of genuine intensity and focus. Capricorn is Cancer's opposite, and professionally the complementarity is real. Cancer provides the emotional and relational intelligence. Capricorn provides the structure and strategic direction. Pisces creates a working dynamic of mutual intuition and care that can produce genuinely creative and human-centered work. In moderate, Cancer works functionally with Cancer itself, Leo, and Libra. Each can collaborate with Cancer, but none quite matches the relational depth Cancer naturally brings to every working relationship. At moderate low, Aries, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Aquarius all create genuine professional friction with Cancer. All four move at a pace or emotional temperature that can make Cancer feel consistently unmet in the working environment. Leo. At work, Leo is the person who raises the room. They bring energy, confidence, and a genuine belief in what the team is doing that is genuinely infectious when channeled well. They are natural leaders and natural presenters. Put Leo in front of an audience, a client, or a camera, and they will deliver. What creates friction for Leo professionally is being underutilized, being micromanaged, or working in an environment that treats visibility as suspect. They need to be recognized for what they genuinely contribute, and they give back generously when that recognition is present. Leo has one high work pairing, Sagittarius. These two fire signs in a professional context create genuine high energy, high output momentum. Both think expansively, both communicate confidently, and both bring the kind of visible enthusiasm that moves projects and people. At moderate high, Leo works well with Aries, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Aries matches Leo's drive and directness. Gemini provides the communicative versatility that sharpens Leo's ideas. Libra brings the strategic social intelligence and collaborative grace that balances Leo's more assertive professional style. Aquarius is Leo's opposite, and at work the pairing creates productive tension between Leo's personal warmth and Aquarius's systemic thinking. In moderate, Leo has the widest middle band of any sign at work. Taurus, Cancer, Leo itself, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces all sit here. Leo's natural warmth and confidence create a functional working floor with almost every sign. None of these seven is a natural professional fit, but none creates the natural professional clash either. Leo has no moderate low or low work pairings. Like in the friendship matrix, Leo's social intelligence and genuine enthusiasm create enough baseline adaptability that almost every working relationship finds some functional footing. Virgo. At work, Virgo is the sign that makes everything actually work. They are the person who catches the error before it ships, who reads the contract before signing, who builds the system that handles the edge cases everyone else forgot about. Their professional value is their precision, their reliability, and their genuine commitment to doing the work correctly rather than just quickly. What creates friction for Virgo professionally is working with people who treat quality as optional, who move fast at the cost of accuracy, or who cannot be relied upon to follow through on what they said they would do. Virgo has two high work pairings, Taurus and Capricorn, both earth sign combinations. Taurus and Virgo create a professional dynamic of extraordinary reliability and quality, two signs whose commitment to doing the work properly is total, and whose output reflects that. Capricorn and Virgo are perhaps the most professionally effective pairing in the zodiac for building something that lasts. Both are disciplined, both are long-term thinkers, and both show love for their work through relentless attention to getting it right. At moderate high, Virgo works well with Cancer, Virgo itself, and Scorpio. Cancer brings relational attunement that helps Virgo's precision land warmly rather than critically. Two Virgos together can produce extraordinarily meticulous work. The risk is that the shared perfectionism creates an analysis loop that delays delivery. Scorpio and Virgo share a professional depth and investigative intensity that creates genuinely thorough, insight-driven work. In moderate, Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Pisces all sit with Virgo professionally, the widest moderate band of any sign in this matrix. Virgo's standards and systematic approach can form a functional working relationship with almost anyone, though few signs match Virgo's level of professional rigor naturally. Sagittarius in particular is worth noting here. The pairing sits at moderate rather than lower, which is a testament to the fact that Sagittarius's big-picture thinking and Virgo's precision can find complementary footing when both are applied to the right problem. It requires real accommodation on both sides, but it is not the professional mismatch it can appear to be at first glance. Virgo has no moderate low or low work pairings. Its commitment to functional professionalism creates enough of a working floor with every sign that even its most stylistically different colleagues find a usable professional dynamic. Libra. At work, Libra is the person who makes collaboration actually function. They read the room, they mediate without taking sides, they communicate in ways that get people aligned rather than defensive, and they bring a strategic social intelligence that most other signs underestimate. What creates friction for Libra professionally is working in environments of chronic conflict, under colleagues who cannot compromise, or in roles that require rapid unilateral decision-making without time for consideration. They work best when the professional context rewards their particular form of intelligence. Libra has two high work pairings, Gemini and Aquarius, both air sign combinations. Gemini and Libra at work is a communication powerhouse. These two understand each other's working style instinctively and produce output that is both intellectually sharp and strategically aware. Aquarius and Libra create a professional dynamic of genuine innovation and principled thinking. Both signs bring a systems-level intelligence and a commitment to fairness that produces work with real structural integrity. At moderate high, Leo and Sagittarius work well with Libra professionally. Leo brings the visibility and confident presentation that gives Libra's strategic thinking its proper platform. Sagittarius brings the expansive thinking and direct communication that push Libra past the overthinking that can stall their professional momentum. In moderate, Libra has the widest professional middle band in the entire matrix. Aries, Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Libra itself, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces all sit here. Libra's collaborative intelligence and genuine commitment to functional working relationships creates a broad floor of workable professional dynamics with almost every sign. Like Leo, Libra has no moderate low or low work pairings. The combination of genuine social intelligence and professional flexibility means Libra can find a functional working dynamic with any sign in the zodiac, even when the collaboration is far from natural. Scorpio. At work, Scorpio is the person who goes deeper than anyone else asked them to. They do not skim. They do not settle for a surface answer when there is a real one underneath. They are exceptionally valuable in roles that require investigation, strategy, transformation, or the kind of sustained focus that most people cannot maintain. What creates friction for Scorpio professionally is working with people who are careless with information, who perform without substance, or who treat professional commitments as suggestions rather than obligations. Scorpio has one high work pairing, Capricorn. This is one of the most productive professional combinations in the entire matrix. Both signs are serious, both are private, both are strategically oriented, and both bring a sustained intensity to their work that is genuinely rare. When Scorpio and Capricorn are aligned on a professional goal, the output they produce is formidable. At moderate high, Scorpio works well with Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, and Pisces. Taurus gives Scorpio the steady reliability that grounds its intensity. Cancer matches Scorpio's relational depth and brings emotional intelligence to the working dynamic. Virgo shares Scorpio's appreciation for precision and depth. Pisces brings intuitive creativity and genuine care that complements Scorpio's more analytical power. In moderate, Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Scorpio itself, and Aquarius all sit with Scorpio professionally. Each can collaborate effectively with Scorpio, but each requires Scorpio to adapt its intensity or depth expectations to a working partner who simply does not operate at the same register. At moderate low, only Sagittarius sits with Scorpio at work. This is one of the clearest professional mismatches in the matrix. Sagittarius's optimism, looseness with detail, and tendency to move before fully thinking through consequences creates ongoing friction with a sign whose professional standards center on thoroughness, follow-through, and depth. Sagittarius. At work, Sagittarius is the person who sees the biggest picture in the room and communicates it in a way that makes everyone else want to be part of it. They're exceptional at strategy, vision, communication, and the kind of expansive thinking that identifies opportunities other people miss. What creates friction for Sagittarius professionally is being confined to purely executional work, being held to micro-level detail without a bigger context, or working with people whose professional style is so cautious or methodical that progress stalls. They need to feel like the work is going somewhere worth going. Sagittarius has two high work pairings, Aries and Leo, both fire sign combinations. Aries and Sagittarius create a professional dynamic of pure forward momentum. These two generate more energy and more drive than almost any other combination in the matrix. Leo and Sagittarius at work is expansive, confident, and genuinely inspiring. Both bring the kind of visible enthusiasm and strategic bigness that moves organizations and clients alike. At moderate high, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius itself, and Aquarius all work well with Sagittarius professionally. Gemini matches Sagittarius's communicative range and adds the versatility and ground-level execution ability that Sagittarius sometimes skips. Libra brings the collaborative intelligence and strategic social navigation that gives Sagittarius's vision a path forward. Two Sagittarians together is high energy and expansive. The productive risk is that both are so big picture that detail and follow-through require deliberate external support. Aquarius matches Sagittarius's love of original thinking and systemic vision. In moderate, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and Pisces all sit with Sagittarius. Each can collaborate productively, but each moves at a pace or works at a level of detail that requires Sagittarius to slow down or go deeper than it naturally wants to. At moderate low, Cancer and Scorpio both create genuine professional friction with Sagittarius. Cancer's need for relational care and emotional consideration in the workplace clashes with Sagittarius's more detached, momentum-focused style. Scorpio's intensity and thoroughness runs directly against Sagittarius's tendency to move past the detail toward the next horizon. Capricorn. At work, Capricorn is the most professionally effective sign in the zodiac. They are strategic, disciplined, reliable, and genuinely long-term in their thinking. They do not need external validation to stay motivated. They do not require the work to be exciting to give it everything they have. They simply identify what needs to be done, build the plan, execute it with discipline, and keep going until it is complete. What creates friction for Capricorn professionally is working with people who are not serious, who treat commitments casually, or who prioritize the feeling of productivity over its substance. Capricorn has 4 high work pairings: Taurus, Virgo, Scorpio, and Capricorn itself. More than any other sign in this matrix. The pattern is clear. Capricorn works best with signs that share its commitment to quality, its seriousness about professional obligations, and its willingness to put in the work over a long time horizon. Taurus brings the reliability and practical steadiness that mirrors Capricorn's own work ethic. Virgo brings the precision and quality orientation that produces work Capricorn respects. Scorpio brings the depth, strategic intensity, and follow-through that Capricorn finds in very few other professional partners. 2 Capricorns together can build things that outlast everything else. The professional risk is that neither yields on method, which can create organizational rigidity over time. At moderate high, Aries, Cancer, and Pisces all work well with Capricorn. Aries gives Capricorn the forward momentum and visible drive that accelerates Capricorn's more measured pace. Cancer provides the relational and emotional intelligence that Capricorn often lacks access to and genuinely needs in team environments. Pisces brings creative and intuitive depth that adds a dimension to Capricorn's work that pure discipline cannot generate. In moderate, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aquarius all sit with Capricorn professionally. Each can collaborate effectively, but each tends toward a professional style that Capricorn finds either too expansive, too process-light, or too theoretical. At moderate low, only Gemini sits with Capricorn at work. Gemini's professional restlessness, tendency to pivot quickly, and loose relationship with long-term follow-through creates genuine friction with a sign whose entire professional identity is built on sustained, deliberate execution. Aquarius. At work, Aquarius is the person who sees the system behind the problem. They are exceptional at identifying what is structurally wrong, at designing solutions that address root causes rather than symptoms, and at thinking several moves ahead of the current conversation. They bring genuine originality to professional environments that reward it. What creates friction for Aquarius professionally is working with people who are invested in conventional approaches for their own sake, who resist structural change, or who cannot engage with ideas at the level of abstraction Aquarius naturally operates at. Aquarius has 2 high work pairings, Gemini and Libra, both air sign combinations. Gemini and Aquarius at work generate ideas with unusual speed and range, 2 signs whose combined communicative and analytical intelligence produces output that is both creative and rigorously considered. Libra and Aquarius create a professional dynamic of principled, innovative thinking grounded in genuine collaborative skill. Both signs are systems-oriented, both value fairness and intellectual honesty, and both bring a quality of professional thinking that most pairings cannot reach. At moderate high, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aquarius itself all work well with Aquarius. Aries brings the action orientation that gives Aquarius's ideas momentum and real-world traction. Leo brings the visible enthusiasm and human warmth that gives Aquarius's systems thinking of face and a voice. Sagittarius matches Aquarius's love of big thinking and original vision. 2 Aquarians together is a genuinely innovative professional pairing, both oriented toward the future, both willing to question the established order. In moderate, Virgo, Scorpio, and Capricorn all sit with Aquarius professionally. All 3 are serious and capable signs that can collaborate effectively with Aquarius, but all 3 also tend toward approaches that are either more conventional, more emotionally intense, or more detail-bound than Aquarius naturally works. At moderate low, Taurus, Cancer, and Pisces all create genuine professional friction with Aquarius. Taurus's investment in established method and resistance to structural change is a direct ongoing challenge. Cancer's need for relational warmth and emotional consideration in the professional environment requires a quality of attunement that Aquarius rarely leads with. Pisces' intuitive, feeling forward working style sits in real tension with Aquarius's more detached, analytical approach to professional problems. Pisces. At work, Pisces brings something that is difficult to quantify and genuinely rare: the ability to sense what a project or a team actually needs before the data or the structure has fully surfaced it. They are intuitive, creative, and deeply attuned to the human dimension of any professional environment. They work best in roles where those qualities are valued: creative work, care-centered work, roles that require genuine empathy or imaginative thinking. What creates friction for Pisces professionally is being placed in purely executional, high accountability, fast-paced environments without the structural support they need to manage the detail requirements those environments impose. Pisces, alongside Cancer, has no high work pairings in this matrix. This reflects the same truth it reflects for Cancer. The specific conditions under which Pisces thrives at work are particular and not commonly replicated in standard professional pairings. Pisces does its best work in contexts that honor intuition, creativity, and relational depth, and most professional pairings in this matrix optimize for something different. At moderate high, Pisces works well with Cancer, Scorpio, and Capricorn. Cancer and Pisces create a working dynamic of genuine mutual care and intuitive collaboration that produces work with real human resonance. Scorpio and Pisces share a depth and emotional attunement that creates surprisingly focused and insightful professional output. Capricorn and Pisces is an unexpected but genuinely productive pairing. Capricorn provides the structure and strategic direction that Pisces needs to bring its intuitive strengths to bear on real professional outcomes. In moderate, Taurus, Gemini, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Sagittarius, and Pisces itself all sit with Pisces professionally. Each can collaborate productively with Pisces in the right context, though each also requires Pisces to adapt to a professional pace or style that does not come fully naturally. At moderate low, Aries and Aquarius both create genuine professional friction with Pisces. Aries' directness and fast-moving decision pace can feel overwhelming and impersonal to Pisces. Aquarius's emotional detachment and purely analytical approach to professional problems sits in real tension with Pisces' more feeling-forward working style. And that is all 12 signs, sign by sign, work pairing by work pairing, grouped by how naturally the professional dynamic tends to flow. For things worth carrying forward from this matrix, the first is Capricorn's dominance. For high work pairings is more than any other sign in this matrix, and it is not a coincidence. Capricorn's professional identity is built on the qualities that most reliably produce high work compatibility with other signs: seriousness about obligations, long-term thinking, and a genuine commitment to quality over speed. When another sign shares even two of those three qualities, the professional dynamic tends to be genuinely strong. The second is the Cancer and Pisces pattern. Both water signs, both without a single high work pairing in the matrix. This is not a professional ceiling, it is a professional context question. Cancer and Pisces bring qualities to work that are genuinely extraordinary: relational intelligence, intuition, emotional attunement, creative sensitivity. Those qualities do not produce high ratings in a matrix that is largely measuring pace alignment, structural compatibility, and professional reliability. They produce extraordinary outcomes in the right roles and the right environments. The matrix is measuring one kind of professional compatibility. It is not measuring total professional value. The third is the air sign pattern at the top. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius all produce high pairings with each other in work. Air signs communicate, think, and process information in fundamentally compatible ways professionally, and when you put two of them together in the right working context, The output tends to be intellectually sharp, strategically aware, and genuinely innovative. And the fourth is the reminder that applies to all three of these matrices. Sun sign is one piece of a much larger picture. The full birth chart, and more importantly the full person, is always richer and more complex than any matrix can capture. Use this as a starting point for understanding, not as a verdict on any working relationship you are already in. If this gave you real insight into your sign's work matches, make sure to save this video and come back to it. Drop your questions and stories in the comments below. Like and subscribe for the full series. And good luck, you've got this.